Pemimpin reform UK Nigel Farage menyebut meningkatnya kedatangan migran melalui Selat Inggris sebagai darurat keamanan nasional. Pernyataan itu disampaikan setelah sebuah perahu besar yang membawa ratusan orang tiba di pelabuhan Dover. Farage menyoroti ukuran kapal migran yang disebut semakin besar dan memperingatkan potensi meningkatnya jumlah kedatangan ke Inggris. Ia juga kembali mendorong penggunaan kekuatan angkatan laut untuk menghentikan penyeberangan ilegal. Isu migrasi menjadi salah satu topik politik terbesar di Inggris dalam beberapa tahun terakhir. Pemerintah Inggris terus menghadapi tekanan terkait pengawasan perbatasan dan penanganan pencari suaka.
A mega dinghy, it's not a dinghy, is it? A boat carrying 230 people was taken into Dover docks at 2:30 this morning. That's a record. And we're rapidly heading towards the Mediterranean. Before long, there'll be thousands coming every single day. You can't smash the gangs. It's impossible. We can catch a gang leader. We can give them 20 years in prison. We can fine them millions of euros. It doesn't matter. The rewards are so great, somebody else pops up who's prepared to do it. We've even now got dinghies regularly leaving Dieppe, which is in Normandy. So we're now looking at a stretch of coastline of about 130 miles long from which these boats can leave. And there is only one way to stop this. And the Conservatives failed totally, mostly through ECHR. Labour have failed totally. And we put forward a proposal last week that said, if you get to a 12-mile line in the English Channel, the Royal Navy, using border force boats, of which we have, by the way, 4 giant vessels, which are used every day. Every day we pick people out of the water at the 12-mile line. We opt to take them to Dover. Our plan is take them back to France. And I tell you what, if we started doing that, within a couple of weeks, there would be no more migrant boats. I also worry about the 230 in that boat today. How many of them are coming straight in to join criminal gangs? How many of them will have extremist tendencies in terms of their religious or political views? How many of them are sponsored by the Iranian state to come and be sleepers in our country? And I raised all of this 10 weeks ago in Parliament. I raised all of this to Shabama Mahmood, that I had it on good authority, that the Iranians were using this route to smuggle in potential terrorists. And of course I was shouted at, shame on you, by Labour MPs. Well, shame on them. What is happening in the Channel is a national security emergency. So it's no to any potential new foreign criminals coming in, because they won't be allowed to. And if they do get in and get convicted, they will leave. And Jeremy Clarkson wrote about this yesterday and said, clearly Nigel Farage has never had a boat. I've actually run boats since the mid-1980s. And as I explained, we pick people up from those dinghies or bigger boats onto border force vessels or RNLI. We do it every single day. It's probably happening literally as we speak on the 12-mile line. And there have been some that say, well, the French won't like it. Well, you know what? In time, the French will love it. Because just imagine living anywhere on that northern French coast, whether it's from Dunkirk, through Calais, down through Wimereux, Ardelot, you name it. Those houses are now completely unsaleable, and you've got people living, literally, with gangs of men all around them. Stabbings, shootings, murders, drug dealing, rape, all of these things going on. Ending the Channel crisis will not just be good for us, it'll be good for those northern French communities as well.
On the 230 people that arrived this morning, Mr. Farage, you've said that we're heading towards a situation similar to the Mediterranean. Yes, this is the largest number of people in one boat, but overall arrival numbers are down quite significantly, 42% down on last year. And the reason why bigger boats are being used is because the smaller dinghies are being taken, they're being dismantled. No one is claiming that this job is done, but will you acknowledge that actually the numbers are not getting more severe, the numbers are coming down? And are you being straight with the British public when you suggest that this is an issue that is getting worse?
I've always thought the boats would get bigger. I've always thought they would. And we were pretty shocked the other day. Do you remember 173? That was about 2 weeks ago, if I remember rightly. We were shocked at 173. Well, we're already up by another 25%. And yes, the overall numbers this year are down, but they're still horrendous. If I told the British people 10 years ago that tens of thousands of people, young men, who discard their IDs into the sea at the 12-mile line, some of whom are going to be terrorists, would come into Britain, you wouldn't have believed me. So whether we have fewer bad people thus far this year than last year, the situation is desperate. It should be declared a national security emergency. And yes, we have managed to stop some of the dinghies. But it doesn't stop the problem. It doesn't go away. It is still something that is completely out of control. And who knows? We could sit here in October and we could find the numbers that, all it needs is 4 of these boats to be 1,000 people a day. You can't predict the future. I can't predict the future. All that we know is our only real deterrent is the weather in the English Channel. So the idea that we should be celebrating the numbers are not as extreme as last year, I'm sorry, I believe that's for the birds.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download MetroTV Extend sekarang.